Welcome everybody, and thank you to attending our presentation today. Today I will have an introduction and technology demonstration on TotalCross technologies, that how you can develop rich graphical user interfaces for the automotive industry using Linux and Java programming language. Just a little about myself. My name is Farshid Monhaseri. I'm a software engineer at TotalCross. Previously, I was involving automotive industry, software development, infotainment system, and some bare metal developments. I have also a Master of Science degree of Biosystem Engineering. And I'm contributing AGL community too. I put myself here. Okay. About TotalCross. On TotalCross, we provide complete solutions, framework, technologies, and services, whole ecosystem for companies and individual developers to create a cross-platform and rich graphical user interfaces in a fast and easy way. And recently we have been focused on embedded systems. Just a little about TotalCross story. It's been start with our previous technology partner, Super Waba, at 2002. It was the one of the first cross-platform SDKs in the world. And then 2007, TotalCross brand born, and with the focus on creating GUI applications for new generation of the mobile phones that we can now call them low-end embedded devices, as you can see as an example on the slideshow. I mean, some microcontrollers nowadays they have more resources than these ones. So TotalCross architecture and applications started to be designed and developed for these devices. So the intention was to create a super low footprint and super high performance Java applications for these devices. At 2019, TotalCross had a great milestone, and we adopt open source community and open source several of technologies, and of course we start to focus and plan on embedded devices. And about why TotalCross in general, and on the SDK side, we create a simple to use, abstracted, and along with tools and utilities, and we are using high-level programming languages like Java to provide high quality, simple, and easy to use APIs to create GUI applications. And on the bottom side, we have TotalCross virtual machine, dedicated virtual machine that's from TotalCross bytecodes, and it's designed and to be low footprint and high performance on our supported platforms, which is the wide range of the platforms and architectures. So it's designed and tuned up for our GUI applications. And yeah. The first component in TotalCross environment ecosystem, it's TotalCross SDKs that application developers start to work with. It's open source, and they can provide and develop low footprint and high performance Java applications with this SDK. And here we have the whole procedure of TotalCross application development. As you can see, using Java API, developer can develop their code base and compile it to standard Java bytecodes. At this step, they can run the application on their development environment based on standard Java runtimes like OpenJDK, and they can emulate their applications just in time. But for deploying the application on the target platforms, we have several steps more here. We convert the Java bytecodes to TotalCross bytecodes. That we do some tweaks in this step. I will describe it as an example just a little bit more to understand what I mean by that. And here we have the package system that it packages the bytecodes and deploy it to our target platform, supported target and required platform from developer. And every package deployed to and packaged with its relative virtual machine binary, as you can see here. So at the end of the project, when you package and compile and package the project, you will have your ready-to-use packages for your selected platforms. Here we have a simple add operation that is done in the JVM and the TotalCross VM as an example. On the JVM side, it's done in the stack memory, and it takes about four steps, 4 instructions to accomplish. However, it's done in just one operation, and just in the register memory. So we are expecting the applications that are heavily depend on such operations, they would have major performance increase on TotalCross runtime. The next technology is Null Code Xml. It's an open source tool that makes application developers to deploy and convert designed Android GUI components to TotalCross SDK. And so you can make your ARM and embedded GUI applications in Android GUI environment. As you can see here, the developer can design the Android GUI here, and it's as you know, the components that are XML components with some external resources. and they are parsed and passed through the Null Code Xml to TotalCross SDK, and so the developer can access the graphical components and its subcomponents. Finally, we have our meta layer for our applications that makes enable companies and individual developers easily deploy their programs, products to their target platforms, to their target hardwares, embedded hardwares, and as you can see, you can find it at our GitHub repository. It's being used by our clients and community, and also our technology partners like Trodex, and they have been tested on their hardware platforms. Here we have a diagram just about how TotalCross applications is going to adopt to AGL application layer. Thanks to AGL adaptive and flexible architecture, we can just adding some native modules to our virtual machine, and package manager. We can deploy our TotalCross applications on AGL, and so the applications will be enabled to interact with AGL application frameworks and binder system. Here we have a screenshot of a TotalCross application. It's simple and just for demonstration infotainment system, and as you can see here, it's run on desktop, and you can see the JVM icon here, and it's run on the emulation mode. So here we have a few other snapshots, but I'm going to show you these applications on IDE and give you an idea how it's looks like on the IDE. Here we have VS Code IDE, and we provide a TotalCross extension for VS Code to ease some development process, and we will use that for packaging and deploying and creating our applications. Here we have a project object model XML file at root of a project. You can see some information, dependency management stuff, and of course one of the most important, you can see the supported config platforms to package the application. You can now we have Linux ARM target here, but you can add more platforms like Android, iOS, Windows, and other supported platforms. So when you compile and package the project, the related packages will be produced by our package manager. Let's look at the source codes. We have resource folder here with some drawing and external resources and materials, and with some XML components that directly come from Android Studio, and they are wholly designed and produced in Android Studio. As you can see, we have the pages here with some subcomponents. On the Java side, we have our application entry, class, and function here. And as you can see, the TotalCross SDK runs our root component. That's a TotalCross window, and you can find it here, the class. So here on our main and root class, that's extended from the main window of TotalCross SDK. We just initialize and load some graphical UI components we have them in this folder. As you can see, we just implemented and we have here the TotalCross SDK classes independently, and we have no other dependency or technology here. So you can create your Java applications with the lowest footprint as possible and deploy it on our dedicated virtual machine. Here we have the UI components, and as you can see, the UI components gets the XML file, the relative XML file as an entry, and they parse it and makes it available, its properties and events and subcomponents to a Java developer, and you can add some codes and handle the stuff here with the Java. As you can, if you pay attention, you can see that we have a relative Java class for every XML component, and yeah, they are modeling and parsing the XML components. Let's have a run and compile it first, and then have a few demo runs or extension. Here you can see that we have package option, and execute that. You can see that the package manager starts to just compile package, gather all the stuff, and produce the target folder here to provide us our target platforms packages. We have finally installed folder here that you can see. The package manager provides us Linux ARM packages, Linux for 32 and 64 platforms. As an example, here we have we have some TCZ files. There are TotalCross bytecode packages. We have our virtual machine, shared object, and TCVM, and some bunch of other TotalCross bytecodes that packaging some materials, some external resources, and we have our application just here. Now I can run my application here on JVM. I can run the standard bytecodes here just by clicking on this run shortcut. And as I said before, it runs the produced Java standard bytecodes, not the TotalCross bytecodes, and it runs based on my current Java runtime, that is OpenJDK 14 right now. And you can see that the application developer can run it and emulate the program step by step at the development time. So yeah, it's intended to emulate for development purposes. For deployment purposes, it's better to use the produced packages here, and now I'm going to deploy it on the real device to see the final and desired result. Here I have my device on my desk, and you can see it. Okay, let me. Okay, now I'm going to deploy the application to my target device. As you can see that the application just deployed on device, and you can see the result. Just enough for demonstration. Let's come back to our presentation and continue. Okay. So what we have next? Our next project and planning for embedded devices. We have ARMA project under development right now. It's intended and designed for embedded GUI applications and modern embedded devices. And also we will extend the support for desktop and mobile platforms too, but the initial and main goal is embedded systems. On the SDK side, we have cross-mobile technology here as a dominant technology, and it's with or some previous technologies like Null Code and or new declarative API to make easy the development for application developers, with some other Java plugins and native plugins too, which the whole system will be run on AVN, JRE, MVM, and JNI. And we have some patches and new modules to extend their functionality to fulfill our requirements to create high quality and rich GUI. So yeah, and I hope I can run the working one at next AMM meeting face to face after this COVID situation. And demonstrate its capability and performance. We have some incredible goals and capabilities here. Thank you for time, and we will be so happy if you have you sometimes at our community and talk with you. Our Telegram channel, GUI for Embedded, and or of course our from TotalCross.com. Me and my colleagues will be there, and we will be available to talk with you and help you to get started with TotalCross technologies. And of course, you can follow and inform about our latest works and updates on Twitter, LinkedIn, and TotalCross YouTube channel. And we will be happy to have your feedback, your idea, your thoughts, your needs about our technology or embedded GUI development. And thank you for spending for the time, and I will be on the Q&A session to answer your questions. Thank you.